The PM shook up his government with a cabinet shuffle today, the first major one in 5 years. We'll tell you who the winners and losers are, and Jules Vasquez will be here to break down the power plays behind the moves. And from midnight to midday, we'll show you what caused the marathon blackout in Belize City. Plus, did the Senate vote to ratify Belize's Safe Third Country agreement with the U.S.? We'll take you there. We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight, Tuesday, November 11th, 2025. Good evening. With your news, I'm Indira Craig.
This newscast is brought to you by Cellular World, your authorized Samsung distributor.
Every day, the demand on your business gets higher. More productivity, better equipment, and reliable support to keep up with a fast-moving world. At Cellular World Business Solutions, we're ready to help you boost performance across every operation. Don't let outdated technology hold you back. With our certified and supported solutions, your business stays ahead. We supply office equipment, printers, inks, and toners, software licenses, IT system assembly as your Dell Platinum and Cisco partner, appliances, and custom orders tailored to your needs. From startups to large enterprises and renowned institutions, we serve every corner of the country because no industry can afford to fall behind on technology. Let's take your business to the next level. Contact us today at 610-2494. Cellular World Business Solutions, your reliable partner in business success.
My fellow Belizeans, this week our government marks the 5th anniversary since the historic mandate given to us by the Belizean people on November 11, 2020. You renewed that mandate in March of this year. These have been no ordinary 5 years. Recovering from the COVID pandemic, especially for the hard-hit tourism sector, was rapid, and Belize has long surpassed the pre-COVID performance markers. Recovering from the 13-year UDP scourge has been more challenging, but Plan Belize delivered on multiple fronts, none more crucial than growing the economy and providing good jobs for our people. Today, almost any Belizean who wants a job can find one. We cut the public debt in half, brought back investor confidence and dollars, and have set about renewing infrastructure in our cities, towns, and villages. Finally, national health insurance coverage for every Belizean is within sight. And earlier this year, we approved wage and pension increases that will total $112 million per year to the over 15,000 public officers, teachers, and security personnel. No government has invested more in our students, teachers, and classrooms. New domestic investment opportunities have arisen. Recently, the government purchased the 3 hydropower plants previously owned by Fortis Canada and plans to offer shares to Belizeans in this company so that these profits remain in Belize. And our progressive land policy has spawned tens of thousands of new landowners in every corner of the country. And we took back the People's Bolido, which is now on track to earn $30 million in a single year for the public purse. These and many other achievements of Plan Belize show what's possible when government honors its compact with the people. But we also know that everyday expectations rise and new challenges emerge. And so, Mindful of this week's election anniversary, I have decided, after careful reflection, to adjust various cabinet portfolio assignments. Francis Fonseca will return as Minister of Education in addition to his current responsibilities. Henry Charles Usher will take on the portfolio of Home Affairs along with the Ministry of Enterprise responsible for free zones. Karim Musa will now be responsible for immigration, governance, and labor. Florencio Marin Jr. will serve as Minister of the Public Service and Disaster Risk Management. Oscar Requena assumes rural transformation, local government, and community development. And finally, new growth industries will be conjoined with agriculture and food security. These adjustments will, as a whole, strengthen our executive team while bringing a fresh approach to several difficult spheres of governance. For example, despite the massive deployments of human and financial resources and the adoption of cutting-edge strategies, both education and citizen security remain areas of keen concern by the public. In both instances, though, Cabinet and the ministries are more resolved than ever to build on the successes of the past 5 years. We are undeterred by the transnational influences that render advancements sporadic or incremental. One other executive change I will put in place immediately is a special cabinet committee to address cost of living issues. I will chair this team as Prime Minister, working alongside Ministers Requena, Fonseca, Mai, Bernard, Mahler, and Garcia Ramirez, along with their CEOs. Aside from coordinating organic initiatives to address affordability, this special committee will specifically examine the impacts of major government policies across government, so as to protect the purchasing power of the working and middle classes. Everywhere we look these days, whether social media or television, there seemingly is chaos and conflict in the world. Our story has always been different, peaceful, resilient, and continuously climbing up to that place of greater prosperity. As pupils of George Price, service to the people should always be our high purpose as elected officials. And with the blessings of the Almighty, let us persevere in our forward march. Belize forever, Belize for all. Thank you.
Boy, Junior, put on your shoes, boy. We're going to Mikado right now.
Again, Granny? What you so now? A tent?
Watch your mouth, boy. The Garifuna Settlement Day sale, November 14th to the 19th. That's 6 full days of savings, only the Mikado.
Okay, Gran. What else happened so then?
Child, then got green tag sale. 50% off selected items. And then they got 10 to 20% off store-wide. And that include the new stock that just reached too. They got curtains, cushion covers, home decor, and 3D wallpaper. And it's so pretty, Junior.
Oh, Bim. Alright, you do a little shopping then.
Huh, boy, try for me. Grab my purse with a Red Mikado today.
Mikado is celebrating Garifuna heritage with its annual Garifuna Settlement Day sale, embracing community, tradition, and color. Join us from November 14th to the 19th at Mikado, 37 Albert Street, downtown Belize City. Mikado, the textile palace, famous for better prices.
At Atlantic Bank, your convenience is our priority. Our contact center is designed to enhance your banking experience. With a wide range of customer service options, you save time and effort. You can easily call in to block or unblock your debit and credit cards, perform account inquiries, and access detailed card information. Whether you need assistance with online banking, merchant support, or general inquiries, our team is ready to help. For added convenience, if all operators are busy, you can leave your number and an operator will return your call as soon as possible to ensure you receive the support you need. Depending on your transaction type, we may need to verify your identity through a set of security questions. And remember, Atlantic Bank will never request your username or password for Atlantic Online via phone call, text, or email, ensuring your personal information remains safe and secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English and Spanish. Simply dial 223-1212. This is a dedicated line for our contact center. Atlantic Bank is committed to providing you with exceptional service and the tools you need to manage your finances conveniently and securely. Take full advantage of our easy-to-use contact center services today.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
The next time you are passing creative marketing at 146 corner of East Colette Canal and Alenby, don't be shy. Come on in.
Welcome to Creative Marketing, where everything is possible.
We offer services like graphic designs for logos or banners or any other special request. Get designs printed on t-shirts for sporting events, special events like birthdays, or for your business. Get your polos or dress shirts officially embroidered with logos or business names. For special requests, our sewing department can get you fixed up with custom preferences. Our in-house name brands like Eliani's collection produces uniform dress shirts and blouses. For work or school, our Z-Tech Sportswear produces fisherman shirts and dry fit polos for males or females. Ask about other items. In other departments, we produce customized banners and fin feathers. At Creative Marketing, there's so much more. So next time you're in need, come take a look. Call us at 207-2023, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. Creative Marketing, where everything is possible.
Nando's Wholesale is the distributor for the full line of Badia spices, including the original complete seasoning, the perfect combination of ingredients and spices prepared to enhance the natural flavor of your favorite foods. Also, cinnamon powder for all your desserts, fruits, and beverages, and as special dishes. All these are available in commercial sizes or restaurant packaging. Nando's products are available at your local retailer or contact us at 222-5000. From Corozal to Toledo, Nando's is proud to be serving Belize as its #1 wholesale distributor for over 35 years.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
In an emergency, people may try to take advantage of a person at risk, including children and women. Avoid this from happening to your family members by practicing the following. Be aware of strangers offering to take your children away and promising to help you or your family. These offers are not always genuine, and a child could be at risk of violence, exploitation, or abuse. Make every effort to let your children know that they can tell you if something happens to them, and it doesn't matter who the person is, that you will listen and report it. Talk to your children and let them know that they should ask for help immediately if someone tries to touch them in an inappropriate way or make them feel uncomfortable. Report any negative behavior or conduct by anyone. By following these tips, you can ensure the safety of your family.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Five years ago, on November 11th, 2020, the PUP was at its peak, swept into office with a resounding and historic mandate. 5 years later, the course of governance has not always run smoothly, and since being elected overwhelmingly to a second term in March, the party has found itself lurching from one crisis to another, which is why today, on the 5th anniversary of his administration taking office, the Prime Minister seemed to be sending a message when he announced his first major cabinet shuffle. It would seem to suggest a kind of reset and a signal to his cabinet that he's not afraid to shake things up. But did it successfully do that? Jules Vasquez will be in studio to analyze it with me, but first, he has an overview of the winners and losers in this cabinet shuffle.
Today's cabinet shuffle had been rumored for weeks, and when we asked the Prime Minister about it 2 weeks ago, he clearly alluded to the possibility, if not likelihood.
We keep hearing talk that there will be a shuffle, a cabinet shuffle, that you're thinking of shuffling your cabinet as we draw to the end of the year.
You always contemplate that at all times. I mean, that's something that you think everything, but if you look at it, next month, November, it's going to be 5 years that we've been really in government, you know. I believe that there's always room for improvement.
And now, on the 11th day of November, we know what the PM sees as improvement. There are 2 ministers who got major downgrades and 2 who got major upgrades in this shuffle. First, Karim Musa gets a major downgrade. The Minister of Home Affairs since 2020 now loses that large, powerful and project-heavy ministry and takes over a portfolio with 2 small ministries, that's immigration, which the Prime Minister surrendered, and the largely inconsequential labor, and another, governance, which only exists notionally. Musa also loses New Growth Industries, which goes over to Hossemai. More on that later. The humiliation of the downgrade is enhanced by the fact that this heavy portfolio is now being handed to his brother, Henry Charles Usher, who gets a significant upgrade, taking over a ministry critical to national life. That's Home Affairs. And to add to that, he gets the Ministry of Enterprise, powerful in a different way. Maybe you could say it has a kind of dark power because it's responsible for the free zones, where Mexican cartels currently exercise a powerful and outsized influence. And that brings us to Hossemai, who the Prime Minister may have concluded had run things too hot. At the free zone, Corozal in particular, evidenced by this attempted execution of a leading free zone operator last week. To save face for losing that enterprise ministry, Mai takes over New Growth Industries, which again is a minor addition to his remaining agriculture portfolio. Second to Musa, the next biggest loser is Oscar Requena, who loses the Ministry of Education, which was assigned to him just 8 months ago, and has the biggest budget in all of government. He apparently performed so poorly that the PM took it back and had Requena revert to the ministry he had before March, Rural Transformation, Local Government, and Community Development. A demotion, a downgrade, and likely a humiliation. But one man's downfall is another's ascent. Francis Fonseca again emerges as a super minister. He takes back education, which he had happily surrendered 7 months ago, and adds it to his existing and already loaded portfolio of foreign affairs, foreign trade, culture, science, and technology. Just in February of this year, Fonseca said the portfolio load was too great and an unwise pairing.
You are currently the MOFAO, MOECST. Would you in another administration wish to retain, if things remaining as they are, and that's completely not foreseeable, would you retain all those portfolios, that heavy load?
No, I don't think so. I think those are very, very important ministries, very serious work, dedicated attention. So I think, that was a short-term, arrangement given the circumstances. I don't see at all that happening in another term of government. So ideally, you want a minister responsible for education and culture, and you want a minister dedicated to focusing on foreign affairs and foreign trade. So I don't see that happening in the next government.
Well, it has happened. And that it has seems to speak volumes about the PM's lack of confidence in the depth of talent in his cabinet room. Florencio Marin Jr., who is like a cabinet journeyman, changed his portfolios again for the second time in 8 months, taking over the public service and disaster risk management from Usher, which is more or less a lateral move.
Importantly, those cabinet changes take effect November 17th. We are joined on set with our news director and political analyst, Jules Vasquez. Jules, tonight the political chessboard has been rearranged. A major cabinet reshuffle has been announced by the PM today. It shifts players across some of the most sensitive ministries. Let's break it down. What's really behind this move? What triggered this sudden cabinet shuffle?
Well, again, it was timed, as you said at the outset, to coincide with November 11th, to mark the exact 5th year in office. But really, the Prime Minister had a chance to change his cabinet in March, and he did make changes.
Okay.
So it's unusual that 8 months later we will have another change. What I believe, based on our information, it started in a rift with the Minister of Infrastructure, Development and Housing, Julius Espat. Julius Espat gave me an interview on October 6th in which he said he was critical of some of the moves that the government, the Ministry of Economic Development, had made to divert the building of a bridge for the first time ever away from the Ministry of Works, MIDH, to the Belize City Council. It was not a good-looking deal because a Lebanese contractor is involved. They allegedly took the original engineer, M&M Designs, they allegedly took his engineering plan and drawings. Controversial, and Minister Espat came out. So that's when we started hearing that the PMM moved by Julius to put Julius in his place. But since then, the PM and Julius have met.
Okay.
And they have found, I believe,
mutual ground
to move forward. I'm told that the bridge project is going back to MIDH from City Council. That's another matter. But Julius, who I believe was the trigger for this reevaluation, is no longer on the table. So then it comes down
to Karim.
To Karim Musa.
Okay, so
now,
what does this mean for Karim? Is it a promotion? Is it a demotion?
It's a major demotion for Karim Musa, and more than that, it attempts, I believe, to link him, to blame him for Budna. You have to understand the Joseph Budna issue is one of the issues that most concerns the government because it undermines the public trust in the government and the security systems, because it's security apparatus, I should say, because it's clear there is a cover-up. It's clear, the public can see that. And this undermines the public trust in the government. By sending Karim Musa to a lower ministry, away from the police ministry, it is a way of saying this is a consequence of that police-led operation. The buck has to stop with somebody. It obviously won't stop with Mr. Rosado, who they have already said is clear. No other arrests have been made, so it is an attempt to try and say Karim Musa, who I will stress, has maintained two things throughout. Let there be an independent investigation and let the video files be shown. At no point has the government, has the Prime Minister embraced this. Okay. So he and the Prime Minister have consistently been at odds. But his being stripped of this powerful and important ministry, this is one most important ministry to everyday people's lives, apart from education.
But a beast.
Oh no, it's a beast, and no one gets out
alive,
exactly from a political perspective. So it's a beast, but he had big projects planned. They have big Kabay money, 1,000 security cameras, multiple police stations. They had a number of big projects. All that is gone. And I want to stress, we cannot forget the statement, the extraordinary, unprecedented statement made by the Special Envoy for Women and Children when she said that, when she made this extremely strong statement against domestic violence and femicides, extremely strong, and said that it was the systematic failure of the police and the justice system to help protect these women properly. But at the end of that release, she said, if you have a problem, you call the minister or the commissioner of police. No, the commissioner of police is not in the same category as the minister. No special envoy or prime minister's wife has ever publicly called out a minister. And that, my feeling, I do not know this. I'm sure she feels very passionately about the issue as special envoy, but she felt enabled to do that because I believe that is how Karim Musa is regarded in the house or in the inner circle of the prime minister. He is regarded as non-serious because of the dance and they make TikTok videos. They regard him as non-serious. Hold on. I understand that appeals to a young constituency, but he's regarded as non-serious, as not. He is regarded as someone who has also challenged Mr. Briceño's leadership 10 years ago. And he is not a favorite of the Prime Minister's inner circle. That is the only way it happens that the Prime Minister's wife addresses him like a child.
But haven't Karim held this portfolio longer than anybody who have been police minister?
I wouldn't say long, no, because if we go back to the 90s, Dean Barrow held it for a number of years. I can't quantify the number offhand.
Right.
But 5 years is a long time to hold it.
It is a long time for that ministry
is a long time.
And can't it be said that it's probably opening up the door as well for perhaps a rebrand? Because while you try to make immigration as a lesser ministry, in fact, that in itself is a beast and in need of a lot of different
Yes, but when you have the Ministry of Immigration, really, you work for the Americans. The Americans instrumentalize the Ministry of Immigration. I don't want to be unfair, but they work in close partnership.
Okay. Better choice of words, Jules.
They work in close partnership with the Ministry of Immigration. So I'm just saying...
So are you calling Karim the fall guy for the Budna?
I think the timing of it, I agree with you, you know. Sometimes you need a break, but the time to give him that break was March. The Prime Minister should have said, you did your time, 5 years.
Okay.
Let me take this burning cup from your lips and give you a break. But no, he put it on again. And he put it on him because he's not a favorite of the Prime Minister. All the other young ministers, they got an upgrade. But Karim Musa got stuck again with the Ministry of Home Affairs. And now, taking it from him now, when you should have given him the upgrade in March, taking it from him now is clearly an attempt to try, in my mind, is clearly an attempt to try and link him with blame for Budna. Not that he's responsible, but ultimately you are the minister. It was a police-led operation. Who gave the order? Who was authorized to give such an order? We now know that those police officers operated with some level of clearance. One of them was able to get a gun from his unit, etc. This had to come from higher up. Who gave the order?
What does this mean for the Compol? Does it have any implication for Rosado?
I think that we will have to wait and see what the new minister, what he does with the Commissioner of Police and the CEO, Sharol Kar-Saldivar. It will be interesting because there will have to be changes. We know that...
A shift in tone, perhaps?
Well, you see, Henry Charles Osha is a very different person from Karim Musa. In public administration, from what I know, he is, I believe, a bit firmer. I think Karim Musa is someone who works on building consensus through appeasement, to put it nicely. And so you have an appeaser versus somebody who is considered a PUP hardliner, right? Henry Charles Osha is the ultimate PUP hardliner.
So they're the extreme of each other.
While being siblings, and that's a very important undertone in this whole thing.
How does that come across, internally and externally? Because you're losing one ministry from one brother to the next.
I think it's really a kind of invidious move by the Prime Minister to have you replaced by your brother, who is politically, electorally junior to you, because Karim Musa has won 3 elections. Henry Charles has won 1. He won the second one by default. He had no opponent. He has won 1. Karim Musa has won 3 contested elections. However, that being said, Henry Charles is the chairman of the PUP. So he has some political rank. However, it is certainly, it can be a good feeling to be demoted and replaced by your brother, who is, from an electoral perspective, junior to you. So now it is very interesting in terms of what will Henry Usher do now that finally the greatest security threat to Belize, which is the free zone. It's not Budna, it's the Corozal free zone. That is the greatest security threat. That is now aligned with the Ministry of Home Affairs, which is in charge of police.
Which is also for Henry Charles.
Yes, so those two come together. Now, this is the real significant point that's being overlooked. Hossein was in charge of the Corozal Free Zone. The Corozal Free Zone has run red hot, dangerously hot. And that is why Nitin Bukshani was almost killed 8 miles from Belize City. Because the rivalries in the zone, the zone is controlled by the cartels. The rivalries in the zone are red hot. It has created discomfort, dis-ease, and a sense of disquiet for the Prime Minister of Belize. You have to understand, Nitin Bukshani is the common law of the Prime Minister's cousin. And I think that removing Hossein from there is an indication of the Prime Minister's displeasure with how Hossein has managed the entire free zone situation, which I will repeat is red hot. Now, Henry Usher.
I was just going to ask, do you feel like it's a good alignment to have enterprise along with under Henry Charles' portfolio?
It's not a natural alignment. Home Affairs and enterprise are not naturally aligned.
But we do understand the deeper implications of what enterprise is representing.
But I'm saying that if you're going to, you see, because whoever works in the free zone, from 2016, I believe, under the UDP, the cartels started to gain increasing influence in the free zone. And that influence has continued to grow. These are Mexican cartels. And I think it will be interesting that because I'm saying that they have always worked in some sort of partnership. Because what is it? What is selling cigarettes? It's an illegal trade. It's legal in Belize. Every politician, red and blue, will tell you it's legal in Belize. But what happens after it leaves Belize? It goes illegally into Mexico, illegally into Honduras, illegally into Guatemala, through multiple legal and illegal border points. I'm just saying, this is what the Corozal Free Zone, yes, other things come out of the free zone, other dry goods.
The biggest is cigarette. That's where...
The biggest is tobacco.
Yeah.
And how does that align? How does that relationship, which is almost institutionalized between the cartels and the management of the free zone, how does it align with the Ministry of Home Affairs? We will wait and see how Mr. Henry Charles works it.
It is a
and if
huge
he can
endorsement, though, of Henry Charles.
Huge vote of confidence in Henry Charles.
Huge shift
the two biggest problems the government has, which is citizen security. People in this country don't feel safe, increasingly so. Citizen security and the Corozal Free Zone, which is running red hot. To put that in Henry Charles' hands is certainly an indication of the confidence the Prime Minister has in him. And he is, I will repeat, a hardliner.
Isn't that a good thing at this time?
Well, let us look at it in the Budna case, though. Karim Musa isn't a hardliner. He was deviating from the cover-up script. Right? He was deviating. He said, no, cover it up, bring it out.
Right.
So he's gone now. I can assure you, Henry Charles will not say, make we get an independent investigation and let's look at the video files. No, he will maintain the party line. Let us understand one thing as well. Karim Musa, though he may be criticized for many things, for being unserious, TikTok man, whatever, there's a very important...
Hardly a flaw man. That's...
Yes, but in the judgment of many older persons who are decision makers in this country, that shows that you are frivolous. You're not serious. I'm just saying we differ.
Okay.
But I will say that under his watch, murder numbers, which are the most important crime statistic, have come consistently down.
Exactly.
Until a very terrible October that saw more than a dozen murders. Every month this year had been down, and 2024, for the total murder count, was the best year in 15 or 18 years. 2025 was on track to exceed that. So you can't criticize him.
5 years holding the portfolio. How would you grade his performance as he leaves?
It's hard, it's hard with that ministry.
It's a make or break politically.
It's very hard.
Right.
But I've seen people do much worse, and I will always commend him for being available, accessible, and answerable to the media. So I would give him, for the 5 years of holding the most difficult ministry, I would have to give him a strong B+. I really would. A B+. I cannot go there too far with strong. But so let's move on to the other.
Oscar Ikenya. What does it mean for Oscar?
It's a big downgrade for Oscar. He had the biggest budget, the ministry, the biggest budget, and there were a lot of problems. He fumbled it.
Yeah.
And, it's a big come down.
There's good things that was said about him in rural, though. He was a very strong person in rural, but fumbled in Ministry of Education, for sure.
He really did, and it's a big fail, and it's a big setback for him. And I think it's humiliating to go back to your previous ministry. Yeah. It's like, you can handle a big-time village boy. I understand prime ministers have to make difficult choices. I don't think the prime minister made it with any degree of malice or wanting to humiliate him, but it was not going well. There was a severe discontinuity between Francis Fonseca's steady management of that ministry. That is a ministry with many demands. Everybody needs, or so many people need, financial support for education.
Seemed like a lot of confusion was happening in that transitional thing.
There was a lot of discontinuity. Yeah. So he goes back to his previous ministry, rural development.
Is Francis top heavy once again?
Francis Fonseca becomes a super minister, the likes of which we have only seen before in Dean Barrow. Yeah. Ralph Fonseca, people who were ascending to leadership or enjoyed what they thought, in Ralph Fonseca's case, was a de facto leadership. Francis Fonseca is a super minister. In that bite in that story, he said that it's untenable. Well, here he is doing it again, and he's going to continue doing it. And let me say it right now. If John Briceño were to choose to resign, eventually, for whatever reason, the next man up is Francis Fonseca, which would be like a reincarnation, because he resigned 10 years ago. After the PUP loss in 2015, he said this, he was elected, he said, this will be my last run, I will step down. In his political afterlife, he has gained new momentum, and he is the favorite of John Briceño. So between Francis Fonseca and John Briceño, they literally control close to 50% of the consequential ministries. I would say, if you look at the budgets of those ministries and the importance of those ministries, those two alone are close to 50%, and it shows the level of the prime minister's, I would say it's more than confidence. It's almost like a kinship that he has with Francis Fonseca. So if he were to walk away, if John Briceño were to walk away, I am certain he would give Francis the top.
Is this considered renewal or repair?
Good question. I would say it is considered repair. The PUP has been lurching, as you said,
Right.
from crisis to crisis since March 7th. It's gotten really bad, and it's not going to get better because there's so much nasty stuff on the horizon. You know, they've been having a tough time.
Okay.
So at the 5-year mark, the Prime Minister certainly wanted to send a signal, I want to reset this. I don't know if he convinces anyone, other than really, to me, humiliating Karim Musa and putting him in his place, but maybe this frees up Karim to pursue his leadership ambitions, to become a thorn in their side, to become outspoken.
It frees him up for certainly to be able to, you know, consolidate and work harder in his area, build some ground.
You know how you build power in politics? You have goods and services. You could turn on that one. You could hook this up. Boy, here, we have this project. Yes, I could help you with that.
Immigration needs a lot of work, Jules.
Yes, but immigration has, I believe, a very capable CEO, a very capable leadership in the department. Okay. I'm just saying, but you don't have that outreach, that array of powers and resources that you have with the police ministry. It's a downgrade. I don't believe it will allow him to effectively consolidate power. But I think we have the picture.
Is there any other notables that you'd want to mention, that you'd want to take a look at, that we've missed?
Well, I think Florence Omarin is just a journeyman. I don't think he's a favorite of the Prime Minister. He got a serious demotion in March, and now he gets moved again. But
New Enterprises, was it? New Growth goes to Mai.
Right, New Growth Industries, which I think his spin doctors are making a lot out of. I will believe it when I see it. Then couldn't even win a referendum. Right? A village referendum. Then couldn't win a village referendum or go home. You can't win a village referendum. But my point is, I think something needs to be said, or it must be noted for the historical record. We have the pictures with the ushers and Mr. Musa. Taken a few days ago, it appeared on some government post, and it shows the array of Said Musa's children who occupy senior posts. We have there Major Roberta Usher, 2 places over. You can put the original, because we were just playing a little and we put Henry Child, but the original is Karim Musa, Roberta Usher, Karim Musa, Francis Usher, and Jane Usher.
Love of country.
Yeah, indeed, service.
Love of country.
But I'm just saying, now we have Henry Charles Usher taking the place of Karim Musa. So we see the rise of the House of Usher, because really the national security apparatus between Francis Usher and his brother Henry, they have it, I know Mr. Mira is the Minister of Defense, but they have the national security apparatus in the hands of the House of Usher. And the House of Musa is on the decline. But history is long.
Jules, as always.
Yes.
Thank you for your sharp insight and your analysis. It's always a pleasure to have you on set to give us some undercurrents and the behind the headlines view of what's going on. And we now take a quick commercial break, and we will be back. That's it for the Cabinet Shuffle. There's still plenty of news ahead. We'll tell you what came out of the Senate meeting today, where they debated the safe third country agreement with the U.S., plus a record blackout across the city. We'll show you how that went. Don't go away.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Get ready, please. The deals are drumming louder than ever at Benny's. On November 18th, for one day only, Benny's is turning up the savings with the Drumming Deals one-day sale event.
find amazing discounts on selected items such as paints, fans, lights, faucets, tiles, and so much more. Plus, get B-Bucks with every purchase. Remember, B-Bucks is free money. So don't miss out. Visit any Benny's location countrywide on Tuesday, November 18th. Drum up some savings this massive season with the Drumming Deals one-day sale event only at Benny's. Quality and savings.
Infrastructure that impacts lives, provides opportunities, and enables the growth of communities and country. That has been the constant mission of the MIDH. The upgrading of the Guinea Grass Road has forged a vital link between the vibrant and productive communities of Shipyard, Guinea Grass, and the rest of Belize, which allows the smooth movement of goods and services. The transformation provided by meaningful infrastructure is very real.
We had really been struggling to transport these hoses on these roads, right? Since we have all the holes in the roads and stuff like that. We do not have that issue anymore, right? So now when we are delivering our hose, it comes to its location in a 100% complete product, right?
Before this highway came into place, this Tower Hill to Guinea Grass highway, there was a lot of bad things going on in terms of the road. It was bad, potholes when it used to rain. People used to take a long time to come out and come into the village. And even teachers who are teaching here who have to commute find it very difficult to do their traveling every day.
Una gran diferencia. En el tiempo que estaba la carretera que no estaba pavimentada era demasiado polvo, demasiado. Y era como más despacio, andabas como más lento porque pues no podías ir rápido. Pero ahorita es un gran beneficio, la mera verdad es. Yo creo que es lo mejor que el gobierno ha hecho. Yo estoy muy feliz, muy alegre con ello.
Well, now with this highway, now we have a lot of people, traversing the village. And our people in our village who have a small business like fast food, they're benefiting from that, no? Because people stop there in the morning, have their breakfast, and they go and continue their business.
Have business been increasing? Definitely, yeah. We have realized when it comes to our customers, right? So we do not have the problems anymore that customer would say if they would call in, okay, where are you located, right? And I would say, we're located entrance of Shipyard. And then they would say, okay, we have to travel the bad road or whatever. So that's not a question anymore.
In the past, I believe these students used to struggle, meaning going on the bus or traveling on pickup. And it took long, they reached late to their classes. But right now, the transportation is accessible and the highway is accessible. So from Guinea Grass to their destination, to Orange Rock, to the high schools in Orange Rock, it takes less time. Right now, I believe teachers, people smile because it only takes minutes to reach from Guinea Grass to Tower Hill.
We'll begin with two teams. The first team is the Garifuna worldview. Aubun Amurno Agarbe Garina Awanse Omalao, meaning I for you and you for me is the Garifuna way. Let us move forward. And this means this builds on reciprocity. I am because you are because I am. We are brothers and sisters. We must not be killing each other. Absolutely. No need for that. Because it's love that you are sharing. It is love that you are building, not destruction. So I believe in our team. If only we all would practice it. I for you, you for me is the Garifuna way. Let us move forward. And the second theme for this year's celebration is Wabarangon leader Garifuna duo Iyura Hawamwe Warasa Agabuda Long Sasigo Inebese Lowanichugo. Garifuna moving forward, honoring tradition, embracing change, strengthening our identity, as well as the Belizean identity as well.
Hi, my name is Sana Roland, and as Mr. Kai explained earlier, this year we'll be commemorating our 223rd anniversary while being settled in Belize as the Garinago people. And while we've been here, before we even got here, it wasn't an easy task, it was a struggle. So we are completely appreciative of the fact that Mikado celebrates us year in, year out, every single year for the past 10 years or even more.
At Atlantic Bank, your convenience is our priority. Our contact center is designed to enhance your banking experience. With a wide range of customer service options, you save time and effort. You can easily call in to block or unblock your debit and credit cards, perform account inquiries, and access detailed card information. Whether you need assistance with online banking, merchant support, or general inquiries, our team is ready to help. For added convenience, if all operators are busy, you can leave your number and an operator will return your call as soon as possible to ensure you receive the support you need. Depending on your transaction type, we may need to verify your identity through a set of security questions. And remember, Atlantic Bank will never request your username or password for Atlantic Online via phone call, text, or email, ensuring your personal information remains safe and secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English and Spanish. Simply dial 223-1212. This is a dedicated line for our contact center. Atlantic Bank is committed to providing you with exceptional service and the tools you need to manage your finances conveniently and securely. Take full advantage of our easy-to-use contact center services today.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Champion security, champion security, champion security. Yeah. Your security is our business, so we gonna protect you like a champion, like a champion.
Guess what, Mr. Handsome? Yeah, over there, Champion Security. This is the place to be. What does sign say? Champion Security. Here at Champion Security, we provide quality service. You know why? Such as triology lock, fire alarm, IP camera system, gate operator, biometric lock, and alarm system. Champion Security. Make a go check out where they go on inside of Champion Security. And boy, nice to meet you, my brother. Tell me a little bit more about Champion Security.
Well, welcome, Mr. Handsome. Here at Champion Security, we offer fire system, alarm system, camera system, gate operator, access control, and also trilogy locks and magnetic locks. Everything you need to do with security systems for residential and businesses, you could find everything here at Champion Security. We also consist of 12 technicians and we offer technical support 24 hours. So anything you need for your security systems, you could find everything here at Champion Security.
Remember guys, here at Champion Security, we live by our motto, where safety is our business. Give us a call now. Don't forget to check us on Facebook, Instagram, and all the social media platforms. And continue to shake it to the max all the way. Champion Security, the best place to be. We care for your safety.
You want to rent it, it's not a problem. We got remote gate.
Need to submit your sickness benefit claim online and have a physical medical certificate? Here's how you can do it. First, go to ssbportal.org.bz and log into your My Social Security account. Next, on your dashboard, click Benefits and choose Forms. Review the requirements, then click Continue to proceed. Click Apply under Sickness Benefit to start your claim. Review and confirm your banking information. If it is not correct, select No and follow the steps to update your banking details. If your banking information is correct, select Yes. Next, if your illness is not related to an injury at work, select No and proceed to upload your medical certificate. Select your claim period and confirm your employer details. Read the declarations and click each to agree. Click Submit and you're done. A confirmation email will be sent to you. Your employer will also receive an email with your claim details and a request for your salary information. If needed, submit your sickness benefit claim online and receive real-time status updates.
Belize, November is finally here, and Mikado is having its annual sale of all sales. You heard me right. It's Mikado's annual November 19th blowout sale. Blowout sale. So come on over and take advantage starting November 14th to November 19th. That's 6 full days of savings just for you. This Garifuna Settlement Day sale will be a once-in-a-lifetime event. And the best part of this sale is that you don't need to rush, as there will be enough time and enough items for you to buy. So start early and get this awesome treat from Mikado. Remember now, the sale starts on the 14th of November right through to the 19th of November. And you know what the teacher says, the early bird catches the worm. Again, I must repeat, the sale starts on the 14th and ends on the 19th of November. And as a bonus treat, when you shop, you will be given a coupon to shop again and again and again. Mikado, number 37 Albert Street, your textile palace.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Belize City residents are recovering tonight from a marathon 12-hour citywide blackout, and it may be the longest power outage in decades, causing major inconvenience, closure of businesses, losses of revenue, and general annoyance across the city. The power outage started at 12:30 a.m. and power was not fully restored until after midday. BEL says the outage was caused by a transmission line fault outside the West Lake substation at Mile 8 on the George Price Highway. Basically, a lamppost carrying critical power lines snapped, causing the outage. The fact that it was raining at the time further delayed works to repair it. A release says at approximately 2:30 a.m., supply was restored to portions of the city, including Belama, Bayavista, Vista, and Buttonwood Bay. It would be another 10 hours before power was fully restored to the remaining areas in Belize City at 12:11 this afternoon. And after earning every kind of negative review from customers who endured crushing inconveniences at home, work, and school, today BEL released glibly concludes, "We apologize for the inconvenience caused by this unplanned event and thank our customers for your patience and understanding." Based on what we've heard, well, that patience and understanding ran out at about daybreak. Today, the motion for the Safe Third Country Agreement between Belize and the U.S. was debated in the Senate. The debate lasted roughly 4.5 hours, with each senator rising to share their opinions and express their concerns. After the motion was introduced by the Leader of Government Business, Anthony Sylvester, who was filling in for Eamon Courtney, the lead UDP Senator Patrick Farber kicked things off. Similar to many of the other senators, Farber complained about the lack of information and transparency around the agreement. He added that not only was the information session they had gotten not very informative, but that they also had to learn of the agreement from the U.S. Embassy.
While it is the guise was that this would be additional information that would help us better understand what this agreement is about, colleagues on this side of the House feel, and honest colleagues on that side of the House would be forced to tell you that we are no clearer on what this agreement brings after having listened to testimony by the Attorney General, who today sits as lead government senator, and as well the Ambassador Borland, who, through no fault of hers, she has her, I don't want to call it masters, but she has her people who she has to listen to. The foreign minister is her boss. We are no clearer on what the intricacies, what the details are, if you will, Madam President, of this agreement. The agreement, we first heard of it via, believe it or not, Madam President, the U.S. Embassy chargé des Affairs It was not even our own government who came to us and said, listen, we are engaging with the United States in order to try to sign off on this agreement. And that, Madam President, was just a few days. In fact, if you count the weekend, it was just literally 2 days or so before the signing of the agreement on October 20th. In that Senate Committee of the Whole, Madam President, colleagues on this side and from our non-governmental senators over there, they were very, very adamant in asking the question, what was the rush? And what are we getting? Are we being pressured into doing this? Was a famous question in that meeting. And rather, Madam President, rather than the government being upfront and clear and honest and transparent and say to us that, yes, there is some pressure coming from the United States, which we all know is much more powerful than our tiny nation and, in fact, the entire set of countries in our region, whether it be Central America or CARICOM or them in combination. The United States is a powerful force to reckon with in this region of our country, of our world.
The independent senators expressed similar views, and while they did not outright reject the motion, they pointed out that much more information about the agreement is needed.
The people of Belize want to know what we really signed this agreement for. And in the absence of the information, you will speculate, leader for government business, that this is the MCC money. You will guess and come up with your own answers as to why. I will commend you, leader for government business today. This is the first time in my time in the Senate such an extensive explanation has been offered when any motion has been put to this House.
The meeting of the committee that was held at the Central Bank, to me, was a briefing session. And it was a briefing session simply because an agreement was already signed. Consultations means that you have a legitimate opportunity to give inputs, and those inputs can impact the final outcome or the final product. But when an agreement has been signed, obviously, those inputs cannot have any type of impact on a final product because the agreement was already signed. The second point I'd like to make, Madam President, before I really get into my written presentation, is that there's a reason why, and I believe that you were part of this process during the first constitutional reform process, Madam President, if my memory serves me right. But there's a reason why the Senate ratifies the agreement, and it is to provide a backdrop, some backstop, I should say, for when our leaders have to sign agreements under pressure, perhaps even under duress, that they have to come to the Senate, and the Senate must ratify those agreements, or they're not enforced.
And of course, the PUP senators supported the motion. To wrap up the debate, Sylvester explained the course of action as it relates to any treaty, and that the agreement needed to be signed to activate the process.
This is an agreement that's seeking that Belize as a country accept persons who are facing political, religious, racial persecution, that we as a country step up to the plate and say, we are willing to accept you, provided that you can meet what our law requires. We are willing to open the door to you if you are able to show that genuinely you need a place of safety, you need a place of refuge. This is what this agreement is about.
What obtains in our constitutional democracy is that after the agreements have been signed, after the agreement have been entered into, this is where the Senate, the constitutional authority of the Senate, becomes triggered. So it is through this process which we have engaged in today, which all senators, in discharge of your constitutional duties and obligation, you indeed have the obligation and the right to scrutinize, to examine the agreement. But the point I wish to make is that there has been some conflating of the issues. The agreement is a framework agreement, is a triggering of the process. Indeed, so that the terms of the agreement, which includes, for instance, as well, the standard operating procedures, those clearly cannot be crafted, or those clearly cannot be contemplated unless, first and foremost, the agreement is unless the Senate authorizes its ratification. If the Senate doesn't authorize its ratification, that's the end of the matter. And so it is rather, and so, as I made the point earlier this morning, the Senate will have an opportunity to further examine and review and debate on this matter. Because, and as I pointed out earlier, there would need to be an amendment to the Refugees Act.
The Senate meeting is still ongoing at this time. You may recall a terrible fatal accident on October 11th of 2022 involving a group of students from Centro Escolar Mexico Junior College and an ambulance. 2 died and others received severe injuries. 21-year-old Jorge Vargas, who died at the scene, and 17-year-old Jaheim Williams, who passed away from his injuries 2 months later. The students were traveling in a Bosito van near Ranchito village when it collided into a heavy-duty Toyota Land Cruiser ambulance. But who really was to blame? Was it the driver of the Bosito? Or was it the driver of the ambulance? Or the driver of a Boeing and Boeing truck that was also involved? Well, in a civil case brought by the families of the deceased and the injured persons, Justice Nabi of the High Court has found that all 3 drivers played some part in contributing to the accident. She found, critically, that the ambulance's emergency lights and sirens were not on at the time of the accident, so they had to observe the rules of the road just like the other drivers. She found, quote, that the greater measure of responsibility rests with the ambulance driver and the state, who were the proximate and dominant case of the collision. End quote. The state will now have to compensate the families accordingly, and observers have noted that it is surprising that they even contested the case in court. Adler Wade and Payal Gadwani represented the deceased and the injured. The Fisheries Department today hosted a validation workshop for the National Fisheries and Coastal Management Strategic Action Plan. The event took place this morning with key stakeholders in attendance, including the Coast Guard and officials from the Ministry of Blue Economy. Jo Marie Lanza was there.
Key stakeholders, all who play a vital role in the protection of our blue economy, gathered at a validation workshop this morning to review and share their concerns on the development of the National Fisheries Enforcement and Conservation Monitoring Strategy Action Plan. Minister of the Blue Economy, Andre Perez, explained the purpose of establishing this protection strategy.
Well, actually, it was a very important gathering today with all the different stakeholders as it relates to the blue economy, the action plan. as to where we can do enforcement and conservation in protecting our marine, the blue space, if you want to call it. You know that we have a mandate, not only the conservation targets as relates to the blue bond, but again, how we can do sustainable fishing for everybody to benefit at the same time, having the environment well preserved as well, so that it can last for generations to come. And that is what we're going to do, all the different agencies in enforcement and support. It's not only the Fisheries Department, right? We need enforcement as it relates to the police, customs, in particular the Coast Guard. They have been wonderful in collaborating with us and providing support. So everybody, you know, every different government departments and the NGOs as well that participate. It's a group of us. It's entire nationally. Everybody needs to put in their part as well. And also the stakeholders. We're talking about fisher folks as well, that they participate as well. And that they do, we train them and we grow with them in making sure that they do, teaching the right way how to fish sustainably.
But before the plan can be set into motion, they must identify key areas in need of investment and funding. Fisheries Administrator Rigoberto Quintana further explained how it is being financed.
So this strategy was sanctioned at the highest level. It's being coordinated by the Office of the Prime Minister. And we hope that the funding mechanism through the various funding entities that we have in Belize, the government has made it a priority to implement this strategy in 2020. This is 2025-2030 strategy. It's a 5-year strategy that we are looking at having a well-financed mechanism to implement the strategic areas in this strategy. So today we'll do some looking at some of the costing of this area. So today we'll be able to define and what are the funding priorities, what will be the short, medium, and long-term action plans within this strategy. But to tell you, these are one of the commitments from the government of Belize as we expand to more high biodiversity protection zones. There's more need to cover more enforcement area in the blue space. And this strategy calls for a more coordinated approach to carry out the enforcement at sea. So we expect that this financing will be supported at the highest level, and we should have a very functional and well-implemented strategy for the next 5 years.
And also sitting in at the workshop was the Coast Guard Rear Admiral Elton Bennett. He explained why their participation is important in order for them to achieve success in launching this action plan.
Well, this is a very important enforcement strategy that has national implications because it deals with managing your natural resources across the country. So focusing on fisheries enforcement itself grabs the attention of the Belize Coast Guard. As a matter of fact, the national security strategy in Pillar 3 speaks to the country's responsibility in securing different areas of our economy. And for us, supporting the blue economy is very important. So it speaks to national security, it speaks to securing food, managing livelihoods in the blue spaces. So for the Belize Coast Guard, all of these grabs our attention. So we partner along with the different entities that are taking this lead. For example, the Belize Fisheries Department. We're working closely along with them to ensure that the Coast Guard's contribution is practical and that we are considered in the overall scheme of the enforcement strategy.
Jo Marie Lanza, 7 News.
We take a break now. When we come back, Minister of Blue Economy Andre Paris makes it plain he does not support the controversial Silver Palm development, even though it's gotten green lights so far from the Ministry of Environment. You'll hear his surprising remarks when we come back. Don't go away.
This newscast is brought to you by Cellular World, your authorized Samsung distributor.
Every day, the demand on your business get higher. More productivity, better equipment, and reliable support to keep up with a fast-moving world. At Cellular World Business Solutions, we're ready to help you boost performance across every operation. Don't let outdated technology hold you back. With our certified and supported solutions, your business stays ahead. We supply office equipment, printers, inks, and toners, software licenses, IT system assembly as your Dell Platinum and Cisco partner, appliances, and custom orders tailored to your needs. From startups to large enterprises and renowned institutions, we serve every corner of the country because no industry can afford to fall behind on technology. Let's take your business to the next level. Contact us today at 610-2494. Cellular World Business Solutions, your reliable partner in business success.
En Atlantic Bank, tu comodidad es nuestra prioridad. Nuestro centro de contacto está diseñado para mejorar tu experiencia bancaria. Con una amplia gama de opciones de servicio al cliente, ahorras tiempo y esfuerzo. Puedes llamar fácilmente para bloquear o desbloquear tus tarjetas de débito y crédito, realizar consultas de cuentas y acceder a información detallada de tus tarjetas. Ya sea que necesites asistencia con la banca en línea, apoyo para comercios o consultas generales, nuestro equipo está listo para ayudarte. Para mayor comodidad, si todos los operadores están ocupados, puedes dejar tu número y un operador te devolverá la llamada lo antes posible para asegurarse de que recibas el apoyo que necesitas. Para mayor seguridad, es posible que necesitemos verificar tu identidad con un conjunto de preguntas sencillas. Recuerda, Atlantic Bank nunca solicitará tu nombre de tu usuario ni contraseña de Atlantic Online por llamada telefónica, mensaje de texto o correo electrónico, asegurando que tu información personal permanezca segura y protegida. Nuestro equipo de apoyo está disponible de lunes a viernes, de 8 a.m. a 6 p.m., en inglés y en español. Simplemente marca al 223-1212. Esta es la línea dedicada para nuestro centro de contacto. Atlantic Bank se compromete a brindarte un servicio excepcional y las herramientas que necesitas para administrar tus finanzas de manera conveniente y segura. Aprovecha al máximo nuestro servicio del centro de contacto.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Belize is coming to Jamaica and Cuba's aid following the destruction of Hurricane Melissa. Joby today announced that it is contributing $200,000 each to the governments of the two countries to support immediate humanitarian relief. In addition to that, Belize has also dispatched relief supplies to Belizean students in both countries, which included essential personal hygiene items, canned food, supplies, and cash. The release ends by saying that Belize stands in solidarity with both Jamaica and Cuba, and they will continue to monitor the situation and provide additional support as needed. Last month, we told you about the new development on Northwestern and Burgess Key, a project for a 2020 subdivision on the island that was approved in December of 2024 under what's called a limited level environmental study, which is not a full environmental impact assessment and requires no public consultation. The Silver Palm Estate, which lies within a protected area, has sparked concerns on the environmentally conscious island. Additionally, the Fisheries Department wrote a strong letter insisting on the need for a full EIA. But there won't be any, and so today we asked the Minister of the Blue Economy, who is also the area representative, for his take on the development. Let's just say he's not a believer.
It's very important that we discuss this, and I did mention it earlier, that I voiced my dissatisfaction. I'm not supporting it. Obviously, my community does not support it for many reasons. But first of all, this piece of property that was given out, we must understand something, that this land was given out sometime around September in 2020. That's important. We need to know the history and the facts. How is it about that this land came about in the hands of certain people, private owners, and that came by way of land compensation. Now, the people that got those land compensation decided to do a plan in developing it, cutting it up into almost, I believe it's somewhere around, I saw the plans, about 600 lots. And obviously, this is not making any sense. It's not sustainable. And the way where they're doing it is swampland. Obviously, any kind of development has to do some kind of reclamation. And to do that, all the waters over there are very shallow. So either way, you'll have to come through the Hull Chan Marine Reserve. So that really raises concerns. So not to be anything against the stakeholders or the owners of the place, but what is the right thing to do? Environmentally, it is not correct. From the blue economy standpoint, we cannot support it. From the blue economy standpoint, it is important that we always be balanced. We must be sustainable. We do support development, but at the same time, we must be mindful of our environment. And as such, this particular case here, we cannot support.
So should it have gone to a full EIA and public consultation?
Fully agree, yes. And that is what we are very concerned that we were not consulted. And I want to really state as well is that from the correspondence, it was approved by the DOE back in December of 2024. We do have correspondence from the Fisheries Department back in November 11 in 2020, where a letter was issued to the DOE expressing our objections. That was not the right thing to do. So we did our part from the Fisheries Department that we were not in support of it.
And looking at other ecological threats on the island, we also spoke to the minister about the chronic sargassum problem his island faces. It's lifted now, but it's coming back in a few months. Paris spoke about the lessons learned in the past few months, which saw the heaviest dump of sargassum on record.
In terms of the sargassum, it's always a constant battle. It's a never-ending battle from everybody getting involved with it. As of what the equipment that DOE got, and of course the satellite images that we are able to do to track down where this sargassum is coming. Now, obviously, you might think this is a no-brainer, it's always coming to Belize, but it's a regional problem. But again, we have to be more smart in dealing with this, right? Many ways to attack it. But again, so far we have not come up with that magic potion that will be able to solve the problem, right? But again, it states that preparing ourselves, what is coming forward, what is ahead of the day, what is coming up is important. So all of these tools are put into consideration. But I make it clear, it's not the solution to it, but it's just part of added layers as to eventually come to tackling and arresting this sargassum. It's always something that is never good for business. Obviously, sometimes certain stakeholders might be upset that the government not doing enough. But, it is a regional problem. I'm not deflecting it from it. I'm running away from responsibilities. But it is a concerted effort from everybody's part. Of course, government must lead. We're doing our part, and the different stakeholders must be involved as well. The BTB, we have the Sargassum Task Force Group as well that we're working on. All the different, MPAs that try to work along with them, especially I mentioned to you about Hull Channel and the machines that try to work. It comes under controversy because they say it's not enough. But obviously, these two machines is just not enough for attacking just about everything. But it is effective. But what it says that more is needed. More. It's a fleet that we need. I just want to call out of those that scoff at it and laugh at it when we're asking us to jump and join us. Let's work all together instead of just pointing fingers at one another. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't solve anything, and it doesn't take us anywhere.
And the Belize Hotel Association's president, Reynaldo Malik, confirmed that the Sargassum was a contributing factor to a drop in overnight stays in 2025. Malik says our neighbors experienced the same because of the broad footprint of Sargassum.
The Sargassum is a double whammy. One, it makes potential travelers want to stay away from our destination, but then it also requires a lot of cash, a lot of human. You need human resources to remove it, so you have to pay the human resources. You need heavy equipment to help cart it away, so you need to pay for that, etc. So it's a double whammy. It impacts business where it lowers business, but it also creates more expenses at the time of the year where hotels, for the most part, are already going to see lower business levels. So it's a double whammy when you talk about Sargassum. But I always point out that with Sargassum, Belize is not alone. We're not the only ones that are affected by Sargassum. So Tulum, Cancun, Playa, Belize, right down the coast, everybody, Honduras, Costa Rica, everybody has Sargassum, right? So it's how you deal with it. It's how you approach that situation.
And more immediate than Sargassum, the soon-to-be-resolved U.S. government shutdown, which has lasted just about 6 weeks, has had an effect on Belize. Some hotels have reported to their association that the shutdown and the uncertainty it has created over flight cancellations has begun to impact their bookings, prompting guests to cancel their stay rather than be stranded in airports. In a Zoom meeting with the president of the Belize Hotel Association, he explained that the flights being canceled are not the ones flying out of the U.S., but it's the connecting flights from one state to another that has been the root cause of hotel cancellations.
Yes, so we have seen a bit of an uptick in cancellations right now. And no, you would not have seen, or we would not be seeing a change in the traffic to Belize itself, because the 10% mandatory reduction in flights was set out in a way where it's mostly affecting regional flights within the US and not the international flights. So what that means, though, is that while the scheduled flights from our connection points like Houston, Dallas, Miami, etc., are unaffected, it does mean that those traveling from other areas that need to connect or had flights scheduled to connect through those departure points, that those are affected. So they can get to that second leg of their flight, or in some cases, the third leg of their flights, right? So let's say that if you're coming from somewhere in Wyoming and you're needing to connect through Houston or Dallas, that flight coming to Houston or Dallas is the one that's canceled right now. And so you can't get to the next departure point. So we are seeing an uptick in cancellations. What I know we're doing at the Moyono Group, as well as what I'm recommending to my other BHA members, is to adopt a similar stance to what we had during COVID, where we encourage travelers to not do a cancellation, but to just simply rebook. And for us to do that, it's just a matter of being flexible with our cancellation policies, because as you would imagine, if you're within the last 15 days leading up to your stay, the most cancellation policies would dictate that you're out of luck now. You forfeit the entire amounts that you've paid. So what we do at Moyona, as well as what I'm suggesting to my BHA members, is that we become flexible with our cancellation policies, and instead of enforcing an outright cancellation and forfeiture of monies paid, just be flexible with the guests and give them, in the case of COVID, we were giving people up to 2 years to rebook. I don't think that this particular instance warrants a 2-year window, but I would certainly recommend giving them a 12-month window to rebook their stay with us.
And that's our newscast for tonight. Thanks for watching. With your news, I'm Indra Craig. Remember, you can find a full transcript of the news at 7newsrelease.com and see the streaming video on our Facebook or YouTube pages. Have a pleasant evening, and we'll be back here tomorrow at 6.